What is the cost of starting an Etsy and print-on-demand business? I will be breaking down what to expect, what is the print-on-demand process, and all that you need to know in order to start with your Etsy and print-on-demand business and feel confident about the expenses that you're going to be coming across and the fees associated with selling with print on demand. So if you haven't already, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. This is a series I'm running on my channel that is my Getting Started with Print on Demand and Etsy series for this next year. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. This is a common myth that I hear a lot, is that print on demand and owning an Etsy shop, you can do all for free, which is completely incorrect. Typically, when you're starting up an Etsy and print on demand business, you're looking at as low, I would say at the very least, you're going to be spending about $50 in just startup investments. But typically you can expect more like $100 to $200 that you'll be spending over the course of maybe your first few months. And that's considering that maybe you're not even using Etsy ads or any type of advertisements that you're spending on, which with Etsy and print on demand, you do not need to use ads. Again, another myth that we hear a lot is, do you have to use ads when you're starting an Etsy and print on demand business? My answer has always been no. In fact, a lot of shops that I have taught and worked with and sellers I've worked with have started and grown their businesses without any Etsy ads. So another pro of selling on Etsy rather than other platforms, right? So I did want to dive a little bit deeper into why Etsy is the top recommendation on my list to start with. Now, there's a lot of negativity surrounding Etsy, and really any platform that you sell on, they have their own house rules. And this is where typically you'll see some negative feedback when it comes to Etsy, because Etsy does have strict house rules, but that goes along with any platform. So whether you're selling on Amazon, Etsy, Teespring, Redbubble, what have you, there's going to be house rules that are specific to that platform. With house rules, there really is not that many things that you should be concerned about if you're upholding their creativity standards and you're creating all of your designs yourself. And again, you're being careful about any intellectual property infringement. The main reason why I recommend Etsy as opposed to any other platform out there is because they have a organic traffic machine, as I like to call Etsy. And once you learn how the algorithm and their organic traffic machine works, it's quite easy to scale listings organically, and they try to give new sellers exposure as well as experienced and older sellers alike. When it comes to ad spend with Etsy, you don't need to spend on Etsy ads. You can, given, but it's not required if you're selling on Etsy, because again, we have that organic traffic that's pre-built into Etsy. I went my own website route, I went my own Shopify route, and I did not see the scaling that I saw with Etsy. When I started on Shopify, I was able to scale my brand to over 30K in revenue, but the expenses were so much higher in a Shopify business that the profit that I saw was way lower. Instead, on Etsy, any sale I made, it was organic, and organic really is a huge plus. What I wanted to go over today is what to expect as far as budgeting and softwares that you need. This isn't to discourage you, but just to let you know, hey, this is what you should expect with this process. When it comes to budgeting, we also need to talk about Etsy fees. So to start an Etsy shop with Etsy fees, you're looking at about $15 to $25 to set up an account with Etsy and go through the verification process. When you're starting up your Etsy shop, you typically want to start with at least 20 listings to get a catalog in your shop. And generally speaking, within your first 3 months to 6 months, you do want to increase that amount of listings with a print-on-demand business to over 100 listings. And I know that sounds very scary when you don't have any listings to begin with, but one of the reasons why I'm talking about quantity is because this is giving you a lot of experience and practicing your skill sets in creating better and more high quality listings over time. My first about 50 listings were not good. That's completely normal, and that's why it does take about 100 listings until you really gain those skills. Don't get discouraged if you're not seeing sales right away, and that's just something to note at this point in time too. Besides the Etsy setup fees and initial fees that you're going to come across, there are more fees that Etsy has when you make a sale on your Etsy shop. Now, before you might be like, okay, why am I selling on Etsy with all of these fees? I just want to start off by saying that Shopify, your own website, and then also if you sell on any other platform is going to have very similar fees. Besides that, I want to say that there are other fees that you can incur with each sale. So one fee is if you're offering free shipping, then you are paying for that shipping for the customer. So that's a fee you do have to factor in. Also, if you're running Etsy ads, that is again another fee that you want to factor in. At this stage of the video, I have a lot of people I know that might be like, okay, Heather, is there any profit here? Like you're saying all these fees, is there profit at the end of the day?
The money, Skylar, where is the rest? Where is the money?
I would not expect profit in the first month or first few months on Etsy. This is a long-term business model, and if you're looking for that instant gratification or instant sales and profit, just know that it does take time. I want to put this in perspective that most businesses, whether e-commerce or brick and mortar, do not see profit within their first year of selling. That could be the case, not to say it's for everyone. And what I've noticed from working with so many clients and so many of you who watch this channel is that a lot of new print-on-demand and Etsy sellers typically see some sort of profit within 3 to 6 months of starting their Etsy and print-on-demand businesses. So that's really cool that print-on-demand, you can expect a return on your investment of time and money way quicker than the average business. The next thing I did want to go over, and I wanted to show my product pricing calculator. Again, this is something I do offer within my digital store down below. I wanted to show you all and break down the fees and show that you still can have profit with all of these fees added in. The initial startup costs set aside here. With one of the most popular print-on-demand products, the Bell & Canvas 3001, with the print provider Monster Digital, if you decide to use Printify, which I highly recommend, and you can get Printify Premium for 30 days free by using the code I have in the links down below. Just so you know, if you are looking to get started today with Printify. So if I sold, let's say a Bell & Canvas 3001 t-shirt at $19.99, the production fee would be $9.96. Estimated shipping would be $4.75. The processing fee would be 25 cents, listing fee 20 cents, transaction fees 6.5% would be $1.61. And then the processing fee also is 3%, which is the 74 cents. The total fees is $17.51 with Printify taking out production fees, and then also we have Etsy taking out the fees as well. This might confuse people about that we have the shipping tied into all of these fees. So no matter what, when you get a sale with your print-on-demand provider, you are going to be paying that print-on-demand provider the shipping. The customer's final cost is going to look like $24.74. Our profit, guys, is $7.23, which is a 29.2% profit margin. There is profit in print-on-demand. So the next thing I wanted to dive deeper into is softwares and fees you can expect when you're starting with a Etsy and print-on-demand business. First off, the first software that I would recommend investing in is some sort of research tool. One of my favorite research tools you'll see me use almost every tutorial on this channel is Everbee. This is a Google Chrome extension. It typically costs $10 to $20 a month, depending on the plan that you decide on. There is also just a free plan with Everbee, so you could just start for free. The second tool that I recommend to a lot of you is a design and photo manipulation tool. What I recommend, and what you'll see again on this channel during tutorials, is Kittl. Kittl is a print-on-demand focused design and photo manipulation software, and that's one of the reasons why it's the highest on my list to recommend to those of you. Now, there are other tools such as Canva, which is a really great tool as well. There are so many other avenues you can go, and there's free tools and softwares too, like GIMP or Photopea. You want to look into the terms and conditions of any design software and photo manipulation tool that you use so that it is allowed for commercial use. Kittl's on the top of my list because you'll see clear terms and conditions for Kittl and print-on-demand usage for commercial usage. I do want to say that there are some fees that you will want to look into as your business grows and scales. Now, I may make a totally separate video after this, but as your business starts to grow and scale, there are other costs that you want to factor in, such as maybe getting a bookkeeping service per month, and also factoring in a legal consult within maybe the first year of your business. I do have a whole interview with a lawyer specifically over Etsy. I linked down below in the description. I would recommend checking out as well to answer any questions that you have on that. So I do encourage you all to join that print-on-demand crash course down below, because that is also going to go way more in depth than these YouTube videos as far as what you need to know, and then also step by step how to set up your Etsy shop. Besides that, I'll see you all in the next video here.